All right. Welcome everybody back to Life with the Slum.
What up? What up? How y'all feeling out there?
I'm feeling good because we just had an amazing premiere on my other channel called Shawnee Talks Lifestyle. So if you're not familiar, go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to Shawnee Talks Lifestyle so you can catch the premiere of Love and Lifestyle. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed the premiere. I had a great time. Great time.
What was your favorite part?
Looking at you as you premiered everything. All the glow, the excitement, the I did that. It's all that glistening.
Well, I didn't do it by myself. I had some awesome couples. I'm going to shout them out really quick before we get into the episode. So let me see. I have you and me.
Come on, you gotta start it off the top. Start off the top.
Okay, the first couple was Alfred and Deshawn. That's moi. And then we had another couple that was on there, Erica and Takandra Brown of Built to Last.
Erica and Takandra Brown, Built to Last. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then the third couple that came on after them, I'm trying to remember the order that it came in.
Jason and LaShawn.
Were they after them? I don't think they were after them.
They were after them.
Okay. Jason and LaShawn.
Yep.
So if you go over to the channel, you can get their deets and follow them and see where they are. And then the next couple after that was Damien and Leah.
Damien and Leah.
And then the couple after that was Jamie and Erica.
Jamie and Erica, yep.
And then, of course, Tori and Nova. So, yeah, this is the couples for the first season of Love and Lifestyle. So make sure you go check that out at Shawnee Talks Lifestyle YouTube channel. All right, so now let's get on with this.
You gotta tell them what it's about, though. Love and Lifestyle is about, you know what I mean? Give them a vibe.
I give them a little bit. But y'all gotta go to the channel a little bit. But it's couples sharing their stories. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna be inspired. You might even cry at some of the stories. You know, yeah, bunch of stuff.
Some amazing tributes from some amazing couples.
Yes, it's a docu-series, but don't think documentary like when you were in high school. Documentary, think of like more entertaining.
I actually liked my documentaries in high school though. I mean,
because you're boring. You're boring though.
My teachers wasn't. My teachers kept us engaged. You know what I mean? We was watching documentaries that was actually important to our everyday
What
lifestyle.
documentaries you was watching?
Eyes on the Prize.
I didn't watch that. My school didn't care about me. What else? I remember documentaries being about animals and stuff.
Yeah, that's not all documentaries.
Maybe the I Have a Dream speech. That was about it. Probably. See, it might have been some other stuff, but I probably fell asleep.
I'm a school.
I passed the class. That's all that mattered.
I'm gonna school you because she don't know. So Eyes on the Prize is a series that was launched by PBS back in I think.
Oh, that's that little kid station.
No. Public Broadcasting Service.
Oh, I thought you meant.
Yeah, it is
a kid station called.
It's not.
Oh, okay,
PBS is a public broadcasting station. They have children's content. They have adult content. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the point of what I'm saying is PBS had a series called Eyes on the Prize.
Mm-hmm.
It was released, I think, in early 90s or late 80s because it was on VHS.
Okay.
And it talks about the African American experience, everything post-slavery. So we're talking about Reconstruction all the way through.
All right, how long is this? Because you're sounding like the documentary right now. How long was that?
It was from basically early 1900s through.
Yeah, you know what? I think I did watch 70s, that, 80s. And I probably fell asleep. That's what I think happened.
Yeah, that's because your teacher kept y'all engaged. That's
Our teachers weren't engaging.
So if you watch Eyes on the Prize talks about the full struggle of the African American experience in the U.S.
Yeah, we ain't watched that. I went to a mixed school. And it was only mixed because it was only a handful of I'm gonna call us chocolate chips, Hispanics, Asians, and African Americans, and we're chocolate chips. But it was only a few of us, like on the cookie. That's how it was. So yeah, we didn't really get a lot of that, and we didn't even have. I don't even remember. I could be wrong. I don't think we had Black History Month. We had multicultural week where they try to clump you on everybody.
Yeah, but I mean,
really, I think history should be everything throughout the whole year. It shouldn't be 1 month of the year where you clump in everybody. Because there is no history without everything.
Black history is American history.
No American history without Black history.
Well, just like Native American history is also important. Irish American history.
Yeah, all of it. That's what I'm saying. Like it shouldn't be clumped into 1 month.
But it's not necessarily that it's being clumped into 1 month. What they're doing is they're isolating a specific group based on how much it is that
how many times they don't talk about it throughout the year?
Well, I don't. I mean,
It ain't talking about it. So
I ain't gonna say.
all right. Anyway, so we're gonna get into this. So anyway,
Eyes on the prize.
he always taking this over across the hill and down the valley and over the mountains and stuff. All right, we're gonna stay focused. So on today's episode, we are continuing
Black History Month,
Black History Month,
Part 2.
I know you're like, well, aren't you doing the same thing your school just did? Yeah, pretty much. We're gonna. I mean, not really, but yeah, in a sense, we're gonna stay on that topic because it seems to be something that people are interested in at the time right now to learn a little bit about it. So that's what we're going to do.
So we're going to talk a little bit about what we started last week. We talked a little bit about the Black Panthers.
Wait, disclaimer: can you not go too much today?
I'm not going to go into too much.
I'm just saying a little too much. Like last. Okay, go ahead.
So last episode, we talked a little bit about the context around Black Panthers and a couple of the other groups associated with
not the animal
the civil rights movement. Today, as you can see, I have on my Jackie Robinson jersey. We kind of get up a little bit. I don't know if you see the Dodgers.
Yeah, we see.
So Jackie Robinson jersey. Never had the privilege of actually meeting him. However,
you're not representing. Your hat doesn't.
I don't have a Dodgers hat.
Yeah. You're half.
You know what? I do have a Dodgers
That's
hat.
okay, but we're not going to do that.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get it.
No, we're not.
Nope, I got to get it right. Nope. Nope. As you said, I was wrong. I'm not representing.
Oh, my gosh. So anyways, while he's on his way back, and he gets his Dodgers hat so he can be fully representing. Last night, we had a wonderful time watching Judas. What's the correct title? Judas and what? I'm going to get it all wrong. I'm going to call it Judas and the Black Jesus, but I think that's wrong. What's the real title? Is it Judas and the Black Jesus?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
I was close. Jesus is the Messiah. Look at that. I was close. Yeah, so Judas and the Black Messiah we watched last night. Did you just really come back in here with the same hat?
No, this is the Dodgers one. See? LA, not the other one. See? Had to get it right. I heard.
So what the other one had on the NYC?
The other one was Golden State actually, but it was still it was Golden State, but it was camo.
Oh, I love camo. All right. So anyway, so yeah, okay. Now he's trying to be 100.
100%. There we go.
With your little halfway self. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Anyway, so the point is.
So anyway, we'll get back to the movie, but go ahead.
So I was representing the Jackie Robinson Foundation. This is a jersey from the Jackie Robinson Foundation.
Wasn't that a movie that
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, good brother. Yeah. Appreciate your love. All the work that you did and put in.
Not right.
On too soon. Yeah,
definitely. Go ahead.
So we as a family are really heavily involved in Black history. Of course, not just during the month, but also throughout the year. And we believe in engaging people in conversations, and not just people, but also our children. So our children learn a lot more about Black history throughout the year than I think some of their teachers are typically ready for. So we'll go ahead, you share.
Yeah, I don't think their teachers know any of the answers. They're like, get this child out of my class.
Yeah, my our oldest asked the librarian, how come there's no information on Black Wall Street on the massacre? And the librarian was like, I'll look into that to find out if I can share the content.
If she can share the content,
she can share the content. Yeah, there's some.
If she can, if they're sharing everybody else, everything else about history.
It's not just that. There's some there's context behind that is very traumatic for children.
So you don't think all the other history that they've learned in school is traumatic?
I think that the way that it's taught does not show
that it's traumatic.
The trauma of children.
Okay, I guess that's another episode. Yeah. All right, so we ain't gonna get into that one. All right, so anyway, we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna continue on with this Black History Month. So, is that your person, Jackie Robinson?
Jackie Robinson is my person.
Is that why you tried to come up in here dressed like him and stuff?
Yes, because his swag was impeccable. Go ahead, it's on you. Who you got? You excited to Shakur today?
Well, I wanted to know was no, I'm not.
Angela Davis, maybe. Angela Davis.
No, I am not.
You're not? Okay. Who? Janet Jackson? You Janet Jackson.
Why do you say Janet Jackson for some Black History Month?
Because you got to, Janet Jackson's the first person that had her movie out on TV.
Oh my gosh. If you don't stop, I don't have no movies though.
Oh man. On a Super Bowl event. Wardrobe
No,
malfunction.
I am going to actually talk about, and they just recently became history.
All right.
Cecily Tyson.
Oh, we got her book too. I bought that for you.
Can I finish?
Go
Thanks.
ahead. You want to rock it up.
Cecily,
What about Cicely? Tell them.
Not Cecily. Cecily.
Cecily. Is that right?
Yes.
Cecily Tyson.
Cecily Tyson.
My bad. Go ahead. What about her?
She was Black excellence.
By far.
Yes. Classy. Everything. Just everything. Whatever you think about in a dictionary that says Black excellence, her name's next to it. Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you the hard question.
No.
You ready?
No. I'm not answering the roots question.
No roots question.
I ain't answering none of the film that she been. I'm
horrible
horrible at this stuff.
I was gonna ask you, when did you fall in love with her capabilities as an actor? When was it that you really was like, this person really exudes?
It probably was during Alex Haley's Roots. I thought she was amazing. But what I like about her is that she has been an actress not just since the Alex Haley Roots times, but that she's been able to cross over into different genres and eras and ages, and she just remained timeless. And I think not just in acting, but in music or anything that you do, that's an important quality to have, and it takes a special person to do that kind of thing, because not everybody. Some people try to cross over, but they can't, or they don't succeed in that. And she's been really what has helped her, I feel as though, is that she's wise in the roles that she picks and the movies that she picks, and that creates impact when you not just pick a movie just like I did a movie. But you pick a movie that actually is going to give you that timelessness to continue to carry on throughout your time.
And I think for me, the very first movie that I really fell in love with her as an individual on screen was when she played Sojourner Truth. I forget the name of the movie, but I remember watching it and it actually made me look up who Sojourner Truth, like the actual story behind her.
I remember that was someone that I actually wrote about in high school.
For Black History Month?
Yeah, Sojourner Truth. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I never really wrote about her. She was one of the characters that she was one of the people in Black History that my grandma had referenced that I look up. But for whatever reason, for one reason or another, I didn't really take to the character, or the person too much.
Okay, so who's your person?
I'm other than Jackie Robinson.
Shout outs, love _1.
Other than
I'm trying to pronounce it. Okay, go ahead.
Other than Jackie Robinson?
Yeah, go ahead. We got at least we have at least three. We have three. So you did one, I did one, you got another.
So you pick somebody that's a
I already have.
That's a thespian. So
yeah, because
I'm gonna choose somebody that I think embodied a lot of the people in a thespian role, and that's Chadwick Boseman. I mean, he's played.
Why you gotta be like me?
No, I'm saying he's for people that I've actually looked up.
I wonder if they're gonna do something for him, tribute or something.
I hope they do. I really do.
That'd be nice. But yeah.
But for him specifically, every role that he's played, like forget Black Panther, we're not even going to talk about that role because that's more, that's a made up character. In real life, he's played some of the most.
Black Panther was a really iconic role, though. Well, like that went across the whole world. I mean,
yeah, but
I was in Africa. I was in Ghana. Well, he wasn't on the poster, but that movie was on. Can you believe that movie was on the poster with different characters? Yeah, because I don't think they get those movies over there.
Well, there might be some challenges there with
I don't even know what that. I didn't even go see it, so I wouldn't even know what it looked like there, like in that version. But
Black Panther is not a necessary. It's not part of the real world. So,
but it was the same cover, just with different people. It was interesting.
Well, he had.
But yeah, anyway,
the one he played Marshall. He played
Thurgood.
He played Thurgood Marshall. He played Jackie Robinson. He played James Brown.
Oh, he was good with James Brown. Yeah.
All three of those movies, like for him having totally different characters, he killed them roles. And I really started kind of following his acting thing when I found out that, and this was like years ago. This had to be like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, no, it was a little bit longer than even The Five Bloods, which is technically not true story, but
right. What about that war movie that he played? Is that it? The Five Bloods,
yeah.
No, I thought it was another movie he played too. That was war. Okay, anyways, go ahead.
So with the whole John, he was a great actor in all of those movies, and there's even a couple other ones that I hadn't seen that we went back and actually looked up and he did amazing roles in both of those, in all of those actually. So I definitely think that they should give a tribute to him in one way, shape, or form.
Right.
I would have loved to see him play another role that was more current, you know, based on what we're dealing with. Something like maybe like a Colin Kaepernick story or something like that. You know, or even some of the athletes that had gotten blackballed because they spoke out about certain things, you know, like a Muhammad Ali, or Will Smith just did Muhammad Ali, so he couldn't do him, but somebody else in history. So
Okay.
who's your number 2?
All right, and I don't think we mentioned her last time. I hope we didn't, because this is my number 2, Harriet Tubman.
No, she had the strap, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Harriet said,
"Freedom fighters,
we going forward, not
let
backwards.
people do
Ain't
freedom.
nobody going back.
Freedom."
You need help. Why Harriet Tubman?
Because she a G. Why not?
Yeah.
She's a G. She represents the brave side of every woman that some women get to see in their lifetime.
Yeah, because she had a very traumatic upbringing.
I didn't say that part. I'm talking about the leader part. Okay.
The leadership.
She represents, when a woman comes out, her warrior self of what that could look like,
Straight
and how many people could be freed should you choose to do that. In my head.
I can agree with that.
I like it. And Underground was the bomb, and featuring little teeny facts about Harriet Tubman that I thought was decent.
Oh, you remember when we went to Smithsonian and they had like the cabin zone where she escaped from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or that was interesting, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Smithsonian down in DC.
What I liked was, I don't know if this is historical or not, but in the show of the Underground, the songs that they were singing weren't just hymns that they would sing. They would actually be giving code to how to get back somewhere, how to get somewhere. Now, I don't think I knew that. I remember like learning that they sung hymns. Like there was one movie hymns in the field, like, you know, made like Amazing Grace that you would hear, or different things like that. But they actually also sung songs that were codes.
Follow the Drinking Gorge.
Right, to help them to get back to where they need to go, or go where they needed to go, or clues. And the slave masters, I guess, just thought that they were singing to get through the day.
Yeah.
So I thought that was decent. So, but anyways, all right. So your person, your last person.
My final person.
Your final.
I did somebody with Black excellence. We did Thespians. I did a sports.
You can do whatever you want to do. That was my person.
I'm gonna say somebody that's kind of controversial because people have people have their own opinion. But I actually met this person in my lifetime, and
you met them?
Yeah, Jesse Jackson. Yeah, I met Jesse Jackson when we used to live in Texas, and you can have your opinions about him.
I have no opinion about him. You know what? The saddest part, and I could be wrong. Only thing I can remember right now, that sucks.
The affair.
Yeah,
I knew she was.
It sucks. I know all the good things that people do, and you're like, what sticks out right now?
So here's the part.
So yeah, I don't kind of really wasn't thinking about him.
Here's the part that,
not to negate anything he did, just saying.
Well, I don't want to negate, but I'm not also promoting him as an individual. But I'm saying to you, Jesse Jackson, aside from the fact that he was, you know, there when Martin Luther King and there with and took up the mantle from, not necessarily Black Panther mantle, but the Rainbow Coalition mantle that Fred Hampton initially started. So Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Coalition that he was talking about, where he was unifying everything, was a strategy that had actually been employed before. Fred Hampton had one of the biggest growths in history for a particular group or groups of people coming together, just as an example. But Jesse Jackson, like a lot of other, you know, African American leaders in one way, shape, or form, the big push was to try to discredit them through, you know, any act that is considered counter to what they stand for. So, like, remember when we was listening to certain stories about other people, Martin Luther King as an example, you know, Muhammad Ali, when they were talking about them as far as, you know, with Martin Luther King, it was infidelity. They were trying to push for him. With Muhammad Ali, they tried to discredit him because he didn't want to go to fight in Vietnam. Right. He wasn't supporting that. You know, with or
the Muslim thing, like,
and or even they try to push it over to him because he changed his name or became a
different name.
And then even with, you know, with some of the newer people, like when you make a stance on certain things, saying you're not going to do other things, or you're not going to just sit by and idly watch other things, it becomes a problem.
Right. So why else would stop? So why else does he stick out to you? Did you pick him for?
I picked him because even in the midst of a lot of these main figures being assassinated, he decided that he would still want to take a stand. So whether or not people agree with that and the way he went about it or how he went about it or what he did or who he rubbed elbows with, to me, it really isn't. I mean, it's relevant, but it's not as important as the fact that you got to realize in this man's life as an adult, he done seen 3 major leaders get killed. Really, it was more than that if you include some of the other leaders in the different chapters of the Black Panthers. That's an example. There was a lot of brothers that had got killed. And not only that, there was a lot of marches that happened where people were either severely injured
right,
or were maimed forever. So I think that's an honorable stance to still pick up the flag despite those things and seeing those things.
Okay. All right. The last person that I'm going to pick is a writer, an artist, Langston Hughes.
I wrote one of my first Johns on Langston Hughes.
That was one of the people I was really excited to learn about in English literary class. And I can't remember the poem right now, but I remember I was excited when I saw that our teacher was actually going to let us to read something.
A poem?
From Langston Hughes.
Like in like live, like you read it and orate it, or just like you?
Yeah, in the class.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I think Langston Hughes was either the first or second person I ever wrote about for Black History.
Because usually the one that you hear the most in English literary is like Shakespeare and just the normal things that you hear, which they're great. Romeo, we're proud there, Romeo. Yeah.
My understanding of Shakespeare, and this is where it kind of went left, is that
we're gonna talk about Shakespeare. We're gonna keep it focused, and we're gonna keep it focused on that. No, we're not going off to the side.
Langston didn't have no ghostwriter. Langston didn't have no ghostwriter. Shakespeare did. Like history records the fact that he had an actual ghostwriter, and it was a Black woman. So
who was the Black woman?
That's not important.
This is a good Black history fact.
We're talking about Langston Hughes.
All right, I'm gonna get the phone out. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, see here you go.
Now I want to know who was the Black woman that goes right.
We will hold that off for next week. So so you said Langston Hughes, and you said because you got to read something.
Yes, and because he was the bomb. He
was the bomb.
Yep.
Yep. Yes. And he hung out with a lot of mainstream artists and musicians.
And he had a different view of life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Utopian view.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this time for a little bit of Black history. And next time we'll see you again on Life with the Sloans.
Part 2.
For part 3. This was part 2, buddy.
No, you said thank you, and it's part 2. I said thank you for part 2. I said
next week they'll see us for part 3.
Next week y'all see us
for
part 3.
It's all right. I know you got this a little confusion.
This is the end of part 2. It's late.
Yeah. But make sure you go ahead and go over to Showing Talks Lifestyle and subscribe so you can watch.
Listen, don't just
Love
subscribe.
and Lifestyle. Watch the episode and listen. Subscribe to this one if you haven't as well. Life with the Sloans, because we always doing something interesting over here. And
throw some comments out there. Let us know if there's some characters that y'all want to talk about.
Oh yeah, for Black history.
People in history or some
put in the comment section. We check it.
We do.
We'll talk back. We always talk back to you.
Yeah, but we want to keep it live. We want to keep it live and interactive.
For sure.
All right.
All right.
Holla at y'all.
See ya.
Be easy.